Joining me, Democratic Congressman Jim McGovern from the House Rules Committee. That panel could vote as early as tonight on the terms of the debate. Good evening, sir.
How you doing, Greta?
I'm fine. You sort of on standby for the Rules Committee? I mean, what's the process?
Yeah, we are on standby. We're going to have a procedural vote on what we call a martial law rule at 8 o'clock tonight, which allows Republicans to bring up any bill they want at a moment's notice. But we still haven't seen the text of the bill we're going to vote on tomorrow. I don't know where they're hiding it. Maybe it's behind one of the statues here in the Capitol. But the bottom line is we are being told we're going to vote on a major health care measure tomorrow, and nobody has read it. Nobody knows what's in it.
I got to bring up the 2009 when the same thing happened. The shoe was on the other foot. I mean, not that makes it right.
No, and it didn't happen that way. I mean, the text of our bill was online for months in advance. We actually had hearings.
I tried to read that bill. I mean, I don't want to get in a fight with you, but I tried to read it when it first became available right before. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you want to be fighting that battle on that bill in 2009, because that was not a pretty situation either.
Yeah, well, we had hearings. There were no hearings on this bill at all.
Should have been hearings.
We had markups where we accepted Republican amendments. There were absolutely zero Democratic amendments accepted here. So this process stinks. And as a member of Congress, I'm ashamed of this process. And I'm a liberal Democrat, and I'm ashamed of it. If I was a conservative Republican, I'd be ashamed of this process. People ought to know what they're voting on. And health care is a big enough issue where we ought to debate it. This is a deliberative body, and I have a radical idea that we ought to deliberate every once in a while.
I just think we have to be, what I would like to is I'd like to identify the specific problems and then look at sort of our menu of options. That's what I never get out of any of this, because I don't even know what the menu of options is. And then if we solve one problem, we move on to the next and see, how the next one impacts the first one. I never have a sense with your bill in 2009 or this one that we've actually identified the problem. You pass a bill and then it gets sent up to HHS and they do 20,000 pages of regulations. It's like,
right. But look, I mean, the fact of the matter is, under the Affordable Care Act, 20 more million people get health insurance. Under this bill that we're talking about right now, according to CBO, 24 million people will lose their health insurance.
I want people to have medical care.
That's the population of Australia. Look, the Affordable Care Act isn't perfect. We ought to work in a bipartisan way to fix what's wrong with it.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah, we need to address the rising costs of health insurance. We need to address the rising cost of prescription drugs.
And I got to take the last word because I got to go to break. Thank you for appearing. I totally agree with you on all of that. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.